Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going into Bitcoin. We got a CoinsKid cruise. So I just took a week out because I had an operation, but all being well, I'm on the mend right now. You know, it's pretty sore. I've been pretty sore in bed for the last week. I've been trying to tweet as best as I can, but I've not actually been able to sit down for some reason. But now I can sit down. So you know, I don't want to bore you with my life story, but I'm back to making videos for you lot. Okay, so just there, CBBI is looking pretty good, isn't it? We've got this high, low structure on the go, and this is just one of the sort of sentiment indicators that we do keep an eye on. Way back here when it was down there at 2, everyone was really fearful, but like I said to you, this is always a good opportunity. Right now we really are starting to come up impulsively and correctively, aren't we? You know, in the CBI as well. So we've actually put in 30 just there. I think we got to 29 way back in April, and then we're coming back, we're sort of looking at the low 20 area. That's exactly where it came down to, roughly the 23 mark, and then it's broken that resistance and broken out of that big falling wedge, which technically is a bullish reversal pattern. It's came up, it's met the technical target of where it formed the wedge, so that wedge has absolutely played out like an absolute boss. Okay, so down here I think there was other levels we're looking at in the RSI for confluence as well, and it's absolutely bolted. So what now? You know, we are running to key resistance. I wouldn't necessarily be looking to long. If you're not already in any longs or anything like that, or spot positions, I would actually wait just there, because we could actually have a pullback, you know, and it wouldn't be unfounded. Come back in another little high low, shake everyone out, and then up we go again. But we have pierced this high here in the CBBI. We've hit the 30 level, and equally we've broken that high from April in the price action as well. So we've technically put in a higher high at the moment. So if we do retreat and have a small little correction here, I'm going to show you all the levels that I'm looking at, then I think that the support, the pullback could be a fantastic opportunity for you. So I'm going to try and find that for you as best I can, because I think we'll sort of coil up here and then we'll break this resistance, and then we'll start to break towards this lower level here, towards the 36 level, 35 in the CBBI, which is, you know, equally around about the 35k mark. So let's dive into the charts right now and see what we can see for the Bitcoin. Okay. So taking a look at the DXY and Bitcoin, the inverse correlation continues here, and again, it's technicals, it's not bullshit, it's not opium, this is data. Please respect the data. So far so good. This is why on this pullback to this weekly 20, I was a buyer. This pullback to this weekly 20 that came all the way from April all the way down to June, I was a buyer, not a cry, because like I said to you, dips in bull markets are for buying, not for crying. Okay, and right now we've come all the way back down in that falling wedge, we've broken it, and right now we've met the technical target of the wedge, and what we're doing, we're consolidating a range. But what we're doing here, and not a lot of people are looking at this, the most bullish statement from Bitcoin, there's two bullish statements I'm going to show you right now. One is the golden cross, the ultimate buy and go to the beach signal, which is a 20 in the 55 EMA. It's always been a very bullish statement for Bitcoin. It's always led to a massive impulsive move. Okay, not bullshit, not opium, again data. Equally, what we're doing here, we're breaking out the weekly Gaussian channel, so we definitely want to see this maintain the support. The minute we lose this weekly 20, like I said to you, we've been holding it twice right now, and it's never felt like an opportunity when it's come back to that particular level of support either, but so far it has. Okay, because we have that massive move just there, and right now we're putting this massive move just here as well. So we are running to resistance. This is normal, but we have poked ahead above, so technically that's a clean break of resistance. So this is actually a higher high, so this is an impulsive wave. Okay, so right now we should in theory come back to support, hold support, and then go again. So what's the other sort of really bullish thing for Bitcoin that, you know, we're seeing? The bullish thing for Bitcoin is the inverse correlation with the DXY continues, in the sense that what we've done here with a weekly Gaussian channel for the DXY, we're flipping red. So the last time we flipped red for the Gaussian channel was way back there in 2020, when Bitcoin busted a move above the Gaussian, just like it is right now on the weekly, fell back to the neckline support, and then bolted again. So this is what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for Bitcoin to continue to hold the top end of the Gaussian on the weekly time frame, and equally the 20-week EMA. The minute we lose that is the minute, okay, we've got to look at a larger correction, some kind of, you know, ABC zigzag correction to the downside or whatever, but we're not losing it at the moment. So I have to respect the data. Just like this break here, held it, you're holding it, and it leads this massive move. So if we start to do something like this, where we sort of put in lower highs and we break down, then I'm looking at the ABC. But at the moment, we've got a beautiful, you know, impulsive corrective move here for Bitcoin, and it's looking like it wants to continue. And one of the most bullish things we can see is the DXY flipping red, because that's exactly what it did in 2020, which led to a massive impulsive move, and it's exactly what it did in 2017 as well, which led to that massive impulsive move as well for Bitcoin. So again, not bullshit, not hopium, it's data. Okay, and we have to respect the data. So far so good. Bitcoin's looking pretty tasty. Okay, let's dive into the Bitcoin chart and see what we can see right now. So looking at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, we are printing a bit of a bearish divergence at the moment after this break of this falling wedge, this really tight falling wedge. Look at that, broken out, back test the point at which we formed the wedge. I remember the whole way down there, people saying, you don't know what you're talking about, but we've got the rising wedge just there, broke down. Eventually they start come back up and then, you know, continue to break down. So in theory, we should sort of print exactly what we did there. You know, you come down to where you form the wedge, come back in a higher low, and then you break eventually. So, you know, this is what we're looking at, providing we can hold all this support. So what is the support right now? So at the moment, there is a bearish divergence that's printing in the charts, because just here on this high in April, we ran into that resistance just there. Then we came back in this tightening range, basically a falling wedge, and then we came all the way back down to a buy zone, didn't we? And this is where I was buying Bitcoin when people didn't feel like it. It was really fearful. Everyone was thinking Bitcoin was going to lose support and drop below the 20-week EMA. But just like this particular scenario here, we came back in this big irregular ABC to 20. It was an opportunity because it did something like that. And like I said to you, I think this is opportunity. It was on all the thumbnails. We found support and then we're broken out. So I have actually paid myself. I'll be honest with you. I did buy some spot positions down there and equally some long positions. I did have a little short on that resistance just there. ABC correction coming back. I was looking for a high low, but it bolted. Okay, absolutely bolted a bit quicker than I anticipated, to be honest with you. So I got stopped out on that little short, but I was accumulating Bitcoin all the way down, riding the shorts and the longs, and this is what you do. So right now I've actually paid myself on this resistance, because obviously I'm not an idiot. You run into key resistance, it's a good level to take some profit on any longs and spot positions. I'll be honest with you, not sold all my bags, but always take a little bit of profit at resistance. And right now this is exactly what I've done, and we're getting this bearish divergence of Bitcoin at the moment. So, you know, it won't be unfounded for Bitcoin to start to retreat a little bit. So if it does come back, given the bearish divergence that we've got at the moment, where we've got the high and the level high, and then the RSI we've got the high and the lower high, if we do start to pull back a little bit, I'm looking for a higher low off this structure, okay? Because this is what I'm looking for, just like in 2020 when we came up, made the high low, and then we bolted. So I think if Bitcoin starts to take out this 70 level just there, I think that's a massive bullish statement, and it could lead to a massive move here for Bitcoin, just like it did here in 2020 into 2021. So we're kind of sitting at the same levels at the moment. One thing we don't want to see, just like this pullback here, like I said to you, we don't want to see it turn all this into resistance. We don't want to see Bitcoin losing this low in the RSI, because if we do, if we start to come down and lose this low right now in the RSI, for me that would be a looking glass to the fact that this is some kind of A, this is some kind of B, and this is a C leg that's going to be quite nasty. And what we've got in the RSI is the A, we've got the B, which makes a lower high, and then we drop like a stone towards the end of the year, at least coming back to test this back test of resistance support, basically, for Bitcoin, you know. And then the price action will come back in some kind of big ABC zigzag like this. There's some kind of macro wave 1, A, B, C zigzag, all the way possibly back down to that support, and then you'll begin to fall back through the weekly EMAs and the Gaussian and things like that. So at the moment, I have to respect the data, I have to respect the charts. We are closing above the Gaussian, so technically that's bullish. We've made a higher high, so what we're looking to do is consolidate, hold support in a range, and then go again. So I would not be looking to load my bags up here if you're not already involved in Bitcoin, or long at this point in resistance. I would wait for some kind of pullback, some kind of support retest, confirmation, and then build up your long positions again. So this is the optimal place to go short with your stop loss on the wick high, in my opinion. Okay, so this is exactly what we're doing, just riding the waves. So what we're looking for in the RSI is a pullback, hold this low, do not lose it, because that's really bearish in my opinion and can be an indication of an A, B, C. Okay, but at the moment I have to respect the data. We're closing above support, and obviously closing above resistance. Obviously, if we can continue to hold that support, we're all good for a massive impulsive move for Bitcoin. So that particular level of support that I want to see held over the next few weeks here for Bitcoin is 28747. So this is an area of interest to me, because way back here in 2020, this is exactly what we did. If you take a look at this break here of the Gaussian, when we broke out, we went for a couple of weeks where we corrected all the way back down to the top end of the Gaussian. So if you was building positions on the weekly 20 EMA and the Gaussian channel, the top end of the Gaussian way back there in 2020, off this high low structure, look at that, you know, you was in for a good time basically. So, you know, there's no bias. Right now, it's all about support. If we can continue to hold the support of the EMAs and the top end of the Gaussian channel right here, then Bitcoin could be coiling up for a massive explosive move that will come up and break that level there. If we see Bitcoin take out the 70 level and the RSI over the next couple of months, I think Bitcoin can make a new all-time high. It's not bullshit, not hopium, it's data. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. But right now, if we do go for a correction, I'm looking to load back up at 28747 for Bitcoin. Hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.